Hey everybody, my name is Austin Vide, and today I want to talk to you about my experience with real-time or CART captioning. So, the first question we have is, what has been your experience with CART captioning? For me, I've been at UCLA for about 3 years now, and about half of my classes have CART captioners, and the other half have ASL interpreters, and that's just a personal preference. So I tend to use CART captioning for some of my classes that can be very intense, and so it's really helpful when you have captions for it, in a way that if you miss something, you can always scroll up a little bit or look at what was said about a minute ago, and that way you can get your thought process flowing, and you can really, it really helps out with my education. And so with respect to how it's helped me the most, it's definitely with respect to my schoolwork. And when you have classes that are really big, it's somewhat hard to hear the professor. And so CART captioning really helps out with that, and it makes my education accessible. It really helps me thrive and become the best student that I can be. So, what experiences have you had with venues not having CART captioning? Well, sometimes when I go to venues or different events that don't have captioning or interpreters, I feel very left out, and I don't feel that I get the full experience of the event. With respect to CART captioners being certified, I personally feel that it is extremely important to be certified, because I've seen some non-certified captioners, and while some may be really good, it's most of the time they would tend, you'd have some people that would make mistakes. Sometimes the captions would be very delayed. Sometimes there's a lot of typos. Sometimes there's a lot of words that sound right but don't actually make sense in a sentence. And so I feel like most of these problems are solved when the CART captioner is certified. And so that's why I feel that it's very important. A certification is very important to me because it is how I get access to information that's out there. So for example, if I go to court, I want to make sure that all the information is accurate and well represented. If it's not, then something might happen, and it might not be fair to me, it might not be fair to somebody else. And most of the time, my CART captioners for school always try to request the syllabus and look over everything, try to come well prepared for the class, so that they know how to caption for it, and so that they help me, their customer, thrive. And so I'm very grateful for that. It's always helpful to have a 5 to 10 minute discussion with your captioner at the beginning or before a class begins, so that you can really help them understand what the class is about. And that way you guys can help each other. It's a mutual support that we have going on here. We try to help each other. If CART captioning did not exist, then I definitely would not have had equal access to education. Of course, the other option is to have ASL interpreters, and I do have ASL interpreters in my classes. But sometimes in very highly technical classes, having ASL interpreting is somewhat hard, because sometimes you miss something and want to go back to something that was said about a minute ago or 2 minutes ago, and you can't really do that with an ASL interpreter, so it gets a little bit tricky. So it is possible, but it will make our life pretty much a lot harder. Or when people see that I have captions on my screen, they tend to ask, oh, is that some sort of automated speech-to-text recognition software with these cool machine learning algorithms and whatnot? But I then explain that, oh, this is CART captioning. There's a real-time captioner that types using phonetics. They don't type using the typical QWERTY, the typical keyboard that we use on a daily basis. They don't. They type using a special program, and it's very hard to learn and to do. And so I'm very grateful for all the support that these that these captioners provide. So that's what I tend to tell people. Oh, and with respect to sitting arrangements, I really have no preference, but most of the time the CART captioners sit to the right or to the left of the room, and so it's sometimes an uncomfortable sitting position if you sit next to them, because your neck is always looking up or to the left or to the right, and it adds some stress. So what I tend to do is I tend to use Text on Top or TeamViewer, and these are different softwares that let me connect to my captioners' computers remotely, so that I can sit anywhere I want in the classroom and still have the captions on my screen. So I'm very grateful for all the support that my captioners have provided over the past few years, and I'm really excited for these technologies to take the next step and to help all the deaf and hard of hearing people out there that could really make use of this technology. Alright, that's all I have for today. Thank you so much, I really appreciate it.